Greetings and welcome to another video on VoiceAttack and you. So in today's episode we are going to look at the profile window. Okay, so I've already added some commands in. There you go, that's better. The edit profile window. This is where you do all your work with your profile. Quite a few bits in here. We'll go through them one by one. So the first one is the most obvious one, and that's your profile name. Now it can be pretty much anything you want. Just be descriptive. I call mine aardvark with the name of the game, which keeps all my game profiles at the top of the list, and then the other profiles will appear beneath them. Then we've got options. Some of these are quite useful, some of them I've never ever touched. So you've got here, profile general. This is quite an interesting one. Override listening if my spoken command begins with. What you do is put in a single word, computer, Dave, whatever you want. It's just a single word. What that lets you do is when you have VoiceAttack muted, you can say Dave and then a command. Dave, deploy landing gear. Computer, fire guns, whatever. And that overrides the mute function on the main window. Override global minimum confidence levels. That's related to the main options, where you can, set a minimum level, you can override here. I've never ever used it. This is a very useful option. Include commands from other profiles. So if you enable this, you get this little window pop up, and you can click on the plus symbol and then select another profile from your list, include into this one. And you can organize the priority there, and then you can delete ones there. When you add the profiles in, they're listed in the order of priority from the highest to the lowest. I use it with my Elite Dangerous profile to include a profile from the plugin which reads all the journal files. Then you've got Enable Profile Switching following windows or processes. So this lets you change profiles depending on what application you're using. So you could maybe have, if you had a profile, say Premiere Pro and one for Adobe Audition, you could have it automatically switch profiles when you switch programs. Then you've got this one here, send commands to this target. So by default, you always send it to the active window, the one which is you're looking at. That'll be your game typically, or your application. But you can, if you wanted to, click on there and then select it from the drop down on the side. And then you've got the default text-to-speech voice. So if I click on there, you've got the two ones that I bought, which are both from Ivona, and then you've got the default ones that come with Windows. By default, VoiceAttack will use the one that's already set in Windows. We've got profile executions. Execute a command each time a phrase is unrecognized. Lets you run a command anytime a phrase is unrecognized by VoiceAttack. This one I like a lot. Execute a command each time the profile is loaded. What you can do with this one, if you have a command that needs to run every time you load the profile, say to initialize some variables, execute command, and then you can have it called like startup routine or something, or initialization routine. And then every time you switch this profile, it runs that command, initializes the variables, and your profile's ready to go. I use that with my profiles quite a lot. Execute a command each time a profile is unloaded. When you switch a profile, you could get it to play a sound effect or even close the application you're using. Execute a command each time a dictation phrase is recognized. This is just the opposite of the unrecognized one. You might find use for it. Profile hotkeys. You can override global hotkeys there if you need to. Override mouse click recognition, override joystick buttons, and override the stop command hotkey. And then advanced, this lets you block harmful actions, and it gives you the list there. You might want your profile to not be able to do these things. The only thing is, if you block those things, it might cause problems. But there you go, that's that little section. And now we've got the main bit, the main window. New command. Let's you add a new command. Edit, we can edit a command. Or we can also double click on the command to do the same thing. And then delete, well, deletes a command. Now the other interesting thing on here is all these menus here. You can change the sort order by clicking on them. got three. You've got the default one, then you can do A to Z, Z to A, and order of creation. Now, what I've done is I've added on that command there individual options. So on this one here, I've added in when I say, when I press, when I push, and when I click. That way you can see all the menu headings. And also I did a description as well. You have the name of the command and then any shortcuts, whether it's a key press, joystick button, mouse, the description, the category, and the actions. If I go into this and then we move these, the menu headings disappear. If you don't see them on yours, that's why. We go down to the bottom, import commands. This lets you import commands from another profile. We've got this one here, multi-part commands are expanded. You can see there, we've got two commands which look separate. Click on this, and they show us one command. Now, if you edit the command, you can see it's actually got two phrases on it. New command 2 and new command 2b, but we'll get to multi-part commands in another episode. Then you've also got your categories. If you do have categories like I have, you can see I have three categories, 1, 2, and 3. Clicking that will sort them by their category names. It's very handy when you have lots of commands, because that way you can organise them into various categories and make things very neat and tidy. You can individually shrink them, or if you've got them all open, right click and then you can collapse all. Or right click and then expand all. It's also got how many commands you've got down there. That's just literally another stop button in case you're in here and you've got something running. Because you can also do clever things like execute command there. While we're here, this lets you copy a command. And you can also copy a command to another profile. You can duplicate a command. And when you duplicate a command, you have to give it a separate name. If you try and save it now, it says, please choose another name. Paste new command. Then also, if you paste it automatically, this is the name. You can also do Control V as well, or Control C. Delete, well, deletes. We've got edit, delete, new command, execute. If you execute it, it will actually do whatever's in the command. Got your search down here, so you can say new. It should obviously show everything. If we did 4, it would show anything with 4 on it. 2, this will show anything with 2 in it, which includes the category names. 2b, okay, I think there, no space. And the other feature down here, so you can hide commands with certain attributes. So that's, if I click on that one, when I say attributes are hidden, that's one for keys, mouse, joystick, prefix, suffix, and full commands. If I do that one, it will disappear. And you've got the apply button, and apply changes, and then you can do click done, and then obviously cancels anything. Apply is useful because if you're making a command and you want to test it while you're in here, you just apply it and then execute it and it will run, rather than have to go done and then come back out again. And that is the edit the profile window. If you've enjoyed the video or found it useful, click the like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe too, and share the video out. Until the next one, take care, and I'll see you soon. Toodles!